Hello, my name is Molly Hollabaugh. I am a certified Zentangle teacher, and I am going to show you a tangle called Nuckle today. I am working with some tools out of my Zentangle tool set. The tool set comes with a variety of black micron pens in different sizes. It also comes with a graphite pencil and a tortillon. Also in the set is some original Zentangle tiles. They are 3.5-inch square tiles. I am going to start with my graphite pencil. So I'm going to start like I would any Zentangle tile by putting 4 dots in the corner of my tile. Then I'm going to go back and connect the dots nice and lightly to create a border. Now I'm going to put down a string, and your string may look a little different than mine, but just for simplicity here, I'm going to do something that looks like this. So this string is just kind of a space divider for me to work on. It's really nice because it kind of just breaks up my tile into different spaces, and I can work in whichever one I want to start with, and then I'll start to fill the rest of the tile with different tangles. I'm going to be drawing my first tangle with a micron 01. So I think I'm going to work in this, this space right here. And Nuckle is a pretty fun tangle. It's one of my favorites because it's one that really changes from when you start to when you end, and it's hard to tell where those initial strokes were, and I like that about it. So this tangle, I'm just going to show you on the back of my tile the strokes that we're going to be working with. We're going to start off drawing the letter S, and you don't need to do this. You can kind of just follow along, just kind of doing this for a sample. So when we draw our letter S's, you're going to want to focus on making it kind of a real bulbous letter S, almost like one of those S hooks you buy in the grocery store. So that's what I like to think of. Instead of it being kind of just a wave, I like to really make a nice bulbous S. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remember that letter S, and I'm going to begin to draw a series of them kind of all stacked up, almost like a totem pole or a column. Now I'm going to draw another stack of them, but I'm going to leave a little bit of space. And if you're wondering how much space to leave, I usually imagine like there is one sitting right next to it, and then I visually start the other about that distance away. You're going to want to line up the S's so they kind of match up. So that S is next to that one, and so on. Doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm kind of working behind my string here as if it went behind there. And then I'm going to continue to draw these letter S's. And I think I'll go back and put some more over here. So as you can see, I have this series of these nice columns of the letter S stacked one on top of the other. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to slightly turn my tile so that all these S's are sort of on a diagonal to me. And I'm going to just kind of lock my eyes towards 2 of those S's next to each other. So I'm looking at these 2 right here. I'm going to forget about the rest. I'm just going to look at these 2 right here. And I'm going to take special note of the space that's at the top of this S and the space that's at the bottom of this S. And they sort of create the space, a space, the 2 of them. And I'm going to connect that space. And the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to almost trace over a little bit of this S and then travel over. And I'm going to continue on by creating a series of parallel lines until I fill that space that was created by those 2 spaces. So you may want to watch me a couple times just to get the idea of what I'm talking about. I'm gonna now lock my eye on the next two S's down. I'm gonna kind of find this space on the top of this S and the space on the bottom of this S, and I'm going to connect them with a line. And my line is slightly undulating, almost like a little wave. And then I just keep on repeating that series of parallel lines until the space is filled. Don't worry if your line kind of overlaps the hook a little bit. That's to be expected and kind of goes away and adds to it in the end, so don't worry about that part. So again, it's locating two of these S's next to each other, finding the top of the one S and the bottom of the other one, and then sort of tracing over that section to get you going, and just creating this slightly undulating line. Slow yourself down, break down the steps, isolate your focus. I like to work right to the edge of my string, so I kind of imagine like the pattern would be going behind it. The next step is to turn your tile on the other diagonal, so the original S's are kind of going on a diagonal in the other direction. And I'm going to again isolate my focus, and I'm going to look at this little shape here that's sort of like a square with sinking in sides. It's kind of appeared all over here, have these beautiful little kind of shapes that have been created. And I'm just going to look at one, this one right here, and I'm going to create another series of parallel lines, almost like a ribbon falling behind. It's about the same width as that original one we did. Don't worry about things exactly matching up, as it kind of will make sense anyway. And then those kind of triangular spaces that are left, I'm going to color in to make them black. That seems like such a little step, but I'm going to do that as I go along, and you'll see in the end how that little bit of black really makes the whole thing pop. Now I'm going to move on and isolate another one of those shapes, that kind of cube shape with the sides pushing in. And I'm going to again create that line that's kind of perpendicular to the other one. You'll see this beautiful weaving illusion that's been created. And that's Nuckle. But wait, we're going to shade it, which is I think is the exciting part. So I'm going to cap my pen here, and I'm going to pick up my graphite pencil. And I like to hold my pencil on my side when I'm shading. That way I kind of use the side of the graphite rather than the tip. And this puts down a softer layer. And then I'm just going to very subtly go in and add a little bit of graphite where these bands kind of fall beneath. And I'm going to go around first just with like kind of a dark layer really close to the edge. And then with my tortillon, I'm just going to sort of in a little circular motion, nice and lightly. As you can see, I'm barely kissing it, but such a difference it makes just kind of going over it quick. I still have that white beam of reflection in the center, but the line Or the pencil lines look just a little more finished, I guess. Elegant. Minding myself to ease up on my grip and breathe. And that's pinochle for you. Oops. Have fun.